What up, peeps? What up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, MoneyE, back with the 2025 NBA and NHL Conference Finals, which start tomorrow. NHL Conference Finals and NBA both start tomorrow. The East Finals start in the NHL, and the West Finals start in the NBA because ESPN and TNT alternate. So both the East Finals of the NBA and NHL are on TNT, and both the West Finals on NBA and NHL are ESPN. So ESPN is having the NHL West Finals first, because they have the East. No, wait, the East. Yeah, the East Finals start tomorrow in NHL. Sorry, between Florida, the defending champs, the Florida Panthers, and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have home ice in that series. So we'll take a look at the odds and predictions. Um, in the West Finals in the NHL, you got the Oilers and Dallas Stars, which I picked to win the Stanley Cup earlier in the season. I actually picked Dallas in Florida, so I'll post. I'll do that. I'll show that video a little later, so people know I actually did pick that in the beginning of the season. In the NBA, you got the New York Knicks, who defeated the defending champs, the Celtics, which Tatum got injured. He tore his Achilles, so prayers to him for a speedy recovery. I hate to see a player get injured, even if it's a team I hate. I actually do like Jason Tatum, so I actually respect Jason Tatum's game. I think he's a good player, so hope he recovers soon, and probably won't see him next year, but the following year we probably will. Why is this? How do I take that out? Hold on. No, let's do this. Okay. In the West Finals in NBA, West Finals is the OKC Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, who got to the West Finals last year and lost to Dallas. Indiana Pacers got to the East Finals and lost to the Celtics. So both the runner-ups in the East and West are back in the finals. In the NHL, it's the same thing. Instead, the Oilers and I think it's the rematch, last year's Western Conference rematch. In the East is Florida, who got there obviously because they're the defending champions, and the Oilers got there last year because they went to the Stanley Cup, and I think they beat Dallas. Let me check. I don't know why I see Amazon. Hold up. So let me look that up. 2024 NHL West Finals. I want to say it was Dallas and Oilers because I'm pretty sure. While this loads, let's take a bad blood. And defeated the Dallas Stars in the best of 7 series last year 4-2. The Dallas is looking for revenge. And the Oilers are trying to make it back to the Stanley Cup. So we actually could have a rematch. And I actually picked Florida versus Dallas, as I said. So there's something wrong with my connection. So for now, I'll do this. I'll have to restart my computer. Hold on. So right now, in the West. So yeah, in the West Finals is the Oilers and the Dallas Stars, a rematch from last year, as I said. As I crank this up again, and then it's the Florida versus Carolina, which I think they are division rivals. That should be a great matchup. Let me get this. Be right back. I'm back. So let's take a look at some history between the New York Knicks and almighty the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. As I said, Indiana Pacers got to this conference finals last year against the Celtics, and they lost in 5 games, I think. Celtics won in last year. Oh, the Celtics swept the finals swept the conference finals last year. So that's right, they went through Indiana fast. So Indiana looks to not revenge, but redeem themselves from last year, getting swept in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they're going to get swept. We'll get to Let's take a look at the odds. I wanted to do I won't show it on screen, but history. Let's see. Let's take a look at the short.
Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a quarter century, and they're facing the Pacers, which is insane because 25 years ago when the Knicks last made the Eastern Conference Finals, their opponent was the Pacers. And the Knicks-Pacers rivalry runs deep. Yes, these two teams faced off in the postseason last year in an epic 7-game slugfest. But this will be the 9th time they played each other in the playoffs and the 4th time in the conference finals. And you know how Tyrese Halliburton pulled out 2 7-point comebacks in under 40 seconds this season? Reggie Miller dropped his famous 8 points in 9 seconds on the Knicks exactly 30 years ago, and then threw up the choke sign at a young Spike Lee. So if this series is anything like it has been in the past, we're in for some serious entertainment. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a quarter century, and they're facing the Pacers, which is insane because 25 years ago when the Knicks last made the Eastern Conference Finals, their opponent...
Let's take a look at some more. Epic rivals. I'm not gonna play this. I would love to play this. Let's play some of it.
What is it that makes a rivalry great? Does it simply come down to the frequency of matchups between the two teams, or is it something more? Is it about the passion, the emotion that's displayed each time they face off? Is it the animosity, the intensity that exists between the teams?
Play like 5 minutes ago. Well, no, not 5
Or is it
minutes,
those iconic moments that become etched in our memories forever? Or is it the drama, the theater, the unique cast of characters that help make these basketball games timeless moments in NBA history? So let's go back and recap one of the greatest rivalries in NBA history, and arguably the greatest and most entertaining rivalry of the 1990s, the Knicks and the Pacers.
So, there's more to this. Let's see. Hold on. So this is going to be a great rivalry. It's a great series. Let's take a look at some odds for this series. I'm just going to read off the odds. I don't want to know if I can actually show it. Let's see. NBA Eastern Conference Finals. So the Knicks are minus 154 favorite. And the Pacers are plus 130 on the money line. The spread, New York Knicks are obviously the favorite, -1.5. That means they would win. -1.5. That means they win. That means they win by more than 2 games. So they win 4-2 or 4-1 or 4-0. 2.5. Series 2.5 would be, they would win 4-1 or 4-0. 3.5. What would they win? 3.5 would be a sweep. Plus 1.5, that means they win 4-1. No, 1.5, they mean that they have to win, and they would win in 7 games. Plus 2.5, they would win. Plus 2.5 is, okay, so, yeah, so -1.5 is plus 146, -2.5 is plus 270, plus -3.5 is plus 980. So that means you only have 1 chance to win with that. That's a sweep. 2.5, you have 2 chances, and 1.5, if you have all 3. So, and then plus 1.5, plus 2.5, plus 3.5, they're not worth it because the odds are minus. But here are the Pacers. Pacers -1.5 is plus 225. Pacers 2.5 is plus 610. 3.5 plus 1300. So you want to take the Pacers to win in 7. Do minus 3.5 is not bad. That's just another way of betting. But I think they actually have this actual. It's always better to bet than -1.5 because you have 3 chances. You have sweep, you have 1, and we have 5 games, 6 games, and then you have 7. And the worst one is the 3.5 because you only have to win 7. Plus 1.5, you take this plus 1, plus 2.5, plus 3.5 for the Indiana Pacers because they're the underdog. Besides plus 2 and 3.5 because that's 7. So it's not even worth doing the plus in these games. Total games. Plus 610 for a sweep, that's anybody. Plus 270 for 5 games. Plus 220 for 6. Plus 186 for 7 games. So this includes both teams. Over under total games. 5.5 is minus 188. So that means they think it's going to go 6 or 7. And then under 5.5, that means they think it's going to go 5 or 4. And it's plus 152. Series correct score. Next sweep is, wow, plus 980. Next in 5 is plus 430. Next in 6 is plus 570. That's one I would probably do. Next in 7 is plus 380. Indiana's sweep is 1300. Indiana to win 4 and 5 is plus 980. Indiana to win in 6 is plus 470. Indiana to win in 7 is plus 590. Correct order. And then the conference finals MVP. Jalen Brunson is the favorite, minus 120. Tyler Hankamer is plus 170. And then you got Siakam plus 1300. Towns 1300. Miles Turner 4200. OG is 55. Wow. Is Miles Bridges really this low? Miles Bridges is 5500. If I was going to take an MVP, I'll take 2. 1 long shot and 1, I guess it's kind of a long shot. So I'm not taking Brunson or I'm not taking the top 2. So I would take Towns plus 1300 or Miles Bridges 5500 for the Knicks. the Pacers, I'll take Siakam 1,300, or I'll take Naismith plus 1,300. I wouldn't even put a flyer on Josh Hart 11,000. That's not 1,100, it's 11,000. So I might sprinkle some on Miles Turner, or not Miles Turner, on Miles Bridges, or not Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges. I actually might put some money on Mikal Bridges. Thinking about it, I might actually do that. I think Mikal Bridges is going to have a fantastic season. I think Indiana's going to be focused on Brunson, and Brunson's too easy to take. I think the top two are too easy. I think for MVPs, you take long shots, because I took Freddie Freeman to win the World Series MVP last year, and he was plus 1,200, and he hadn't won World Series MVP, and he didn't win it when they won the World Series. Okay, now I have to look. Let's see. The Braves. Let me see. 2021 World Series MVP. Oh yeah, that's right. It was Jose Soler. So Freddie Freeman didn't win it when he was with the Braves. So I figured he's going to win it with the Dodgers, because nobody was picking him. Everybody was on Aaron Judge, Soto, Mookie, and Ohtani were the top four. Those were the top four. And I said, why isn't Freddie Freeman getting any recognition? So I said, I'm going to take a flyer on him. I took him for most RBIs, and he won that too. So I'm going to do the same thing for Mikal Bridges, take a flyer, and you never know. Even Cat. Let's take a look at the West. Okay, OKC is obviously favorite, minus 375. Minnesota is plus 300. Series spread, minus 190.62 for minus 1.5 for OKC. So this is OKC. OKC 2.5 is plus 130. 3.5 for OKC for 3.5. I'm not even going to read the other ones, but those are not worth it. Minus 1.5 for Minnesota is plus 490. Minus 2.5 for Minnesota is 1,400. 3.5 is 3,000. So let's turn this off. 4 games is 440. 5 games is 235. 6 games is 225. 7 games is 290. 250. Over under series is 5.5 minus 140 plus 114 for under 5.5. Series score: OKC in 4 is 450. OKC in 5 is plus 270. OKC in 6 is plus 390. OKC in 7 410. Minnesota to sweep is plus 330 to 1. 5 games 18 to 1. 6 games is 130, and 7 games 920. Let's look at that finals MVP. Of course, it's going to be it's going to be SGA and Anthony Edwards. SGA is minus 310. Not taking that. Anthony Edwards, if they win, that's kind of intriguing. Plus 360. Jalen Williams, that's the guy I would take a flyer on for MVP. It's Jalen Williams. Plus 2,500. Or no. Yeah, plus 2,500. Julius Randle, plus 2,500. I'll take flyer on that. Chet, plus 4,500. That's another one I would take. So if I'm taking OKC, I'm taking probably Jalen Williams. Or Chet. Probably Jalen Williams. Now let's look at the NHL. And my prediction My prediction for the East Finals is the Knicks in 6. And as much as I want to pick the Pacers, I think the Knicks will probably win. Knicks in 6. Because I picked the Knicks to win it, to get to the finals. I'll show that video. In fact, I'll pull that up. Let me pull that up. Videos. Let me see. So my prediction is Knicks in 6 and OKC in 6 too. Then they both win in 6, and then we get the Knicks versus OKC in the NBA Finals. MVPs for the West, I'm gonna say it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Chet because I think it's gonna be because Rudy's gonna stop him because Rudy's actually pretty good defense. He's won Defensive Player of the Year several times. So yeah, I'm not gonna do Chet. I'm gonna do Jalen Williams plus 2,500. Take a fire in that. And for the East Finals, I'm gonna take Cat. I think Cat's gonna win it. So let me bring up my old videos. Hold on. Try and find my. Hold on. I'm going to bring up the predictions I have. I want to show this. Let's see, podcast. No. Oh. I don't know why I did that. Where's NBA? Where's the NBA one? Hold on. There we go. Number 1 seed in the West. In the East, number 1 seed. The West is the Denver Nuggets. So the Knicks are number 2. The Sixers. The Sixers. And then Milwaukee. And then Orlando. And then Indiana. And then the playoff round robin. the NHL. Let's see. OKC, and then I have the Lakers. Houston being in the Lakers and Houston being the 8th seed. Okay, in Denver. Down below, Nuggets over, so instead of offense, I don't know what I was thinking there. 150. I mentioned I think defense, it's offense. I just that good season. I still don't like the mid-season. I think the next thing before I head out, I wanted to do my Stanley Cup prediction. Not a hockey guy. Talking about that, check it out live and listen to it. I don't think it's. They're a good defensive team. They're well coached. So yeah. Before I head out, I wanted to post my Stanley Cup prediction. I'm not a hockey guy, but it's a sports channel, so I didn't have a chance to do NHL predictions last week when the season started. So I'll briefly say that I have Dallas Stars winning over the Florida Panthers. I just prediction. I just put out there, and if it wins, I don't think it's. I'm not a big hockey guy, so I just did that, and yeah. What else? Oh, before I leave, yep, yeah. I had no reason to pick that. No valuable reason, no nothing. I just threw it out there for shits and giggles, and I just threw it out there for shits and giggles. Dallas Stars versus the Florida Panthers. As I said, hockey is the least sport I know, and I just the thought of Dallas and Florida. Florida won the Stanley Cup last year, so I thought they could make it back. I don't know why I picked Dallas. I guess I just thought of the Dallas Stars and just picked that. So I'm one series away from both of them winning this conference finals, and them playing the finals would be fantastic. Because that would be 4 wins away from actually predicting something right and not knowing why I picked that. So it's just funny that I actually picked Dallas and Florida in the Stanley Cup, and both of them are in the conference finals, and I picked the Knicks to go to the finals, and they're in the conference finals. So good on me for I don't want to toot my horn too much, so I just think it's funny that I actually got that right. Now let's look at the hockey, real quick before I do my MLB recap. Let's look at the conference finals. What is no odds? Hold on. Oh, right. Let's look at Dallas. Carolina, Florida won. Florida obviously is the favorite because they're the defending champions. This is really close. Minus 125 for Florida. Carolina is plus 104. The spread is 1.5 for Carolina is plus 220. 2.5 is plus 440. 3.5 is plus 1300. 1.5 is plus minus 210, and the others are not worth mentioning. but their odds are ridiculous. Florida is plus 192. Florida 2.5 is plus 370. Florida 2.5 is 1300. No, 1060. Hold on. Let me turn my plus 1060, and then minus 295 for plus 1.5. Correct score. Carolina sweep is plus 1600. 5 games is 650. 6 games is 550. 7 games is 430. Florida sweep is 1300. 5 games is 550. Wow. And then 6 games is 420, and 7 games is 440. My prediction for that is Florida wins in 6. It goes back to the Stanley Cup. Defend their cup. Edmonton is the favorite, minus 118, obviously, because they beat the Stars last year, and Dallas Stars are minus 102. Really close, even closer than the other East ones. These 2 series are going to be very close. I think both could go 7. Dallas minus 1.5 is 200, plus 200. Dallas Stars 2.5 is plus 420. Dallas Stars 3.5 is plus 1200. Edmonton 1.5 is plus 168. 2.5 is plus 400, and 3.5 is plus 1100. Series score: Dallas the sweep is 1500. This is all plus 800 for the 5 games, plus 550 for 6 games, and plus 420 in 7 games. For the Oilers sweep is plus 1400. 5 games is 600. Yep. 6 games is 430, and 7 games is 430. So my prediction, I'm going to stick with my preseason since they're obviously both here, so why not? I'm going to say Dallas Stars in 7 and the Florida Panthers in 6. That wraps up the NHL and NBA segments. Now let's go to the MLB. MLB, we were so about be right back. So it was an interesting week in MLB weekend. So the Dodgers got swept by the Angels. The Pirates got swept by the Phillies. I mean, that was obvious. But let's take a look. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. So let's take a look at MLB. Once again. Today it's the 19th, so let's start with the 15th. So there's some 4-game series. So, wait, no. Oh, yeah, okay. The Braves and Nationals, there were some 4-game series here that started on Thursday. Like Houston and Texas started on Thursday, so that Texas won the first game. And then Friday, this past weekend was the rivalry weekend portion of the MLB schedule. We had some in-state games: Battle of PA, Battle of New York, Battle of Ohio, Battle of Southern California, Northern California, and Texas, and Florida, and Chicago. So it was rivalry weekend. Let's take a look. So you had the Cubs versus White Sox, obviously. Cubs won the first game 13-3. Afternoon game on Friday. Cubs always have the afternoon game on Friday at home. And the Reds and Guardians. Reds won the first game. Pirates and Phillies. Phillies came from behind and won 8-4. The Orioles and Nationals, the battle of the, I guess, Baltimore and DC. I forget what they call it. Battle of New York. The Nationals won that. The Yankees won the first game of the Subway Series. And Tigers in Toronto, I guess, because they're technically Detroit and Toronto are close, kind of. Not really, but different country. But 5-4 Detroit won the first game. Red Sox in Boston. Braves used to be in Boston, so I guess there's a connection there. Battle of Florida. Atlanta won that first game. Battle of Florida. Marlins won the first game 9-4. Battle of Missouri. St. Louis and Kansas City. St. Louis won that. I forget what series. They call it Highway I something. And then Battle of Texas 6-3 to Houston for the second game. Twins and Brewers 3-0. There's really no connection there. Besides, they're close. They're next door neighbors. D-backs and Rockies, just division game, 8-0 to D-backs. Padres and Mariners, no connection there, other than there's no connection there. Battle of Southern California, it's Angels and Dodgers. Angels won that. As I said, they swept them. In Battle of Northern California, even though Oakland are still in Sacramento, and that's Northern California. San Francisco won that one. Second game for some of these. Third game for Texas. The Mets won the second game. The White Sox, the Cubs won the second game. Blue Jays won the second game. The Nationals won. Oh yeah, the Orioles won. The Marlins started out in the second game. The Phillies won the second game 5-2. Cincinnati won 4-1. Rangers won the third one 5-1, and the Cardinals won the second one 1-0. Braves and the Red Sox came back and won the second game 7-6. Brewers got shut out in the second game again 7-0, and yeah, the Twins won their 13th straight in this game. Rockies and Arizona in a high-scoring game. Colorado won 14-12. Seattle won 4-1. Giants won 1-0. And in another high-scoring game, the Angels won 11-9. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there was 3 managers fired in the last 12 days. The first manager fired was the Pirates manager, They fired their manager on May 8th. Then May 11th, the Rockies fired their manager, Bud Black, and then on Saturday, 2 days ago, the Orioles fired their manager, who was manager of the year 2 years ago. What's his name? Hyde. So, yeah, 3 managers fired in the last 12 days or so. So already 3 managers fired. Will there be more? Who knows? If I had to guess, I knew the Orioles manager was on the hot seat off to a terrible start. Braves manager might be, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name, but the Braves manager could get fired if they don't continue to win. I don't think Alex Cora is on the hot seat. The Blue Jays, Tigers, obviously Tigers are not. Guardians, Reds, no, because that's Terry Francona. Oh yeah, Terry Francona faced their team. That's right. We've got that. I'm not saying there's any other managers on the hot seat. Maybe Ron Washington. I don't know. Now the power rankings. The power rankings time. I'll say about 4. Power rankings time. Power rankings will be so the power rankings. Number 15 will be the Texas Rangers. They come into the top 15. They're back in the top 15. They were briefly out of the top 15. Now they're back. Last time they were in the top 15 was 2 weeks ago. Let me just check. And I dropped them out after week 5. So they're back in the top 15. 2 weeks hiatus, so they're back in top 15. They had a good week, 5-2, 25-23. That West is kind of up and down, so I assume they're going to have a better second half. I think they're going to make some trades. I still think Texas is the best team in that division. I know Seattle has great pitching, but Seattle is up and down. Seattle is great on the road, but they suck at home. After their road trip, they went home and they got swept by the Blue Jays. So, and then they go back on the road and they win again. So, the other team from Texas, Houston, who split the series with Texas, they went 4-2, and they're playing good ball. They're a game ahead of the Rangers for third place, or second place. Houston is in the top 15 for the first time. The Kansas City Royals dropped to number 13 this week. They were number 12 last week. So they dropped to number 13. They had a bad week. They're struggling, so they're up and down. The Royals are number 13. The Guardians dropped to number 8 to number 12. They struggled this week. They went 2-4. 2-4. Third place in the AL Central. Minnesota obviously jumped them because of their winning streak. Seattle Mariners are number 11. They move up from number 13. So they flipped with the. No, they didn't flip. Seattle is back 4-2 this week. I think 3 of those wins are on the road. So yeah, right? Yeah, I think. And then St. Louis is Seattle's number 11. Number 10, St. Louis Cardinals moved from number 11 to number 10. They had a good week, 4-2. The Minnesota Twins, obviously, came off a 13-game winning streak. How can I not put them in the top 10? They've won. They're 9-1 in their last 10. And they come back home now. Can they continue that momentum, or will they struggle again? So 9-1 in the last 10. Last 2 weeks they are 11-1 in the last 12 games. So they climb up 4 spots and go to number 8. Number 8 is the San Francisco Giants. They move up 1 spot from number 9 and the 4-2 this week. So they had a good week. Some of these teams really had a good week. The San Diego Padres struggled this week, 2-4, back in 3rd place. I think they're still in 2nd, but they drop to number 7. They drop out of the top 5 again, and they drop 4 spots. The New York Yankees coming off 2 out of 3 from the New York Mets. I think after they got swept twice last year, the Mets or something. I forget what. But Mets actually beat them. I think they beat them 4 or 5 times last. They're coming off a subway sweep at Yankee Stadium. They won on Sunday Night Baseball, 8-2, and so they're 4-2 this week. So they're still in 1st place, obviously. The Philadelphia Phillies move up 1 spot to number 5. They're back in the top 5 after a couple weeks, and they are only a half game back from the New York Mets. Both teams play tonight, so the Phillies could actually jump them. So yeah, the Phillies are playing good ball. Unfortunately, Jose Alvarado is suspended for 80 games for PED. I'm not gonna say it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It sucks. He's gonna be spending 80 games. Comes back this season, maybe. Gonna be playoff. Can't play in the playoffs, so we're gonna have to get another arm. We're gonna have to get at least 2 or 3 arms for that bullpen. We need another left-hander. Well, maybe Ranger will move into that spot, maybe close the role. I don't know. Right now, Jordan Romero is taking that closer role and really trying to hold that down. So now we don't have to switch back and forth. But I think Jordan is the defined closer right now, for now. And good job, Mick Abel, his major league debut yesterday. 9 Ks, 6 innings, no earned runs. Pretty damn good. No walks, too. Props to him. And the Los Angeles Dodgers moved from number 1 to number 3. Had a horrible week, horrible weekend. Got swept by the Angels. How do you get swept by the Angels? The Angels are horrible. No Mike Trout. When you get swept, the Dodgers have issues. I mean, obviously they're missing most of their staff, pitching staff. Their bullpen is shaky. I didn't think their bullpen is going to be bad, but their bullpen is bad right now. Their pitching rotation is, I wouldn't say in shambles because they have injuries. Blake Snell's on the shelf. I think Ohtani's technically on the shelf because he's not pitching right now. So pitching wise, he's on the shelf. So you got those are top, and then you got Glasnow who's on the shelf. So you got 3 pitchers on the shelf. And then Clay Shaw just came back. He pitched horrible yesterday, so he's not the same. So yeah, the Dodgers have pitching issues, especially in the starting rotation, because injury wise, it's not because of performance. Some of it is performance, but most of it is injury. And that's in the bullpen that's been used so much that I don't think Dodgers bullpen is this bad. I just think I think they've been overused. But some of the pitchers that they have are really good, and they got shelled by Angels this weekend. Angels scored a lot of runs this weekend. Chicago Cubs stay at number 2. They went 5-1 this week. They're playing good ball, and they're probably running away with that division. And number 1, the new team, number 1, the Detroit Tigers, best team in MLB right now, record-wise, and probably MLB record-wise and overall, they are the best team right now, and they went 5-1 this week too. They have a solid team. A solid team. They proved it last year after they snuck into the playoffs and won a round. So Detroit Tigers are for real. They have good pitching staff led by Struble. They have good bullpen, good lineup. And Javier Baez he's back. He's on a redemption tour. Redemption season. Right. So that said, what else? Is there anything else? Let me see. I don't think there's anything else. Just wanted to let that run. But let me look at some stats. Run that one more time. Let me see if the Cubs are still number 1. Oh no. Where is the range? I'm not trying to. Here we go. I think this is right. Let's see. Team batting, runs per game, which covers still number 1. Oh, the Los Angeles Dodgers are number 1 now. And then there's 4 teams that are averaging, 5 teams averaging over 5 runs a game. And then you got Boston, Seattle, St. Louis, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, New York, San Diego, all averaging up to number 21. And the rest, who cares? So at least every team is averaging over 3 runs a game, even the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's see the last 3 games. Home runs per game, and I'll wrap it up. So the Yankees, home runs are not up this year. It's only over 1. So not a lot of home runs right now. It's still May. But May is almost over. May will be over in about 10 days. No, in 12 days it'll be over. So we'll be in June already. So that will wrap it up. MoneyE. I will be doing before I leave, I'll do some plugs. I'll be doing a schedule reaction with Clinic on Wednesday. Check that out live, probably 6 p.m. And then I'm going to be doing another video that will come out probably after Premier League season. I'm going to react to some preseason predictions from other YouTubers. I'm going to react to that. How many pick? I don't think anybody picked Liverpool. So I watched some videos where there was Liverpool, all City, or Arsenal. So I want to react to that. I've been wanting to do that. I wanted to wait until the season was over, so if that makes more sense. And then that will probably come out next week. I'll probably do that next Monday after the MLB. And then Friday we'll be talking about Sabu, who passed away this last week. Up to him. Rest in peace, Sabu. We'll bring a retrospective on him on this Friday this Friday on Wrestling Through the Years, our flagship channel. Here's the contest that we're doing on When Toons Combine on the ticker. So if you want to be part of it, just let us know in the comments. All you have to do is say yes. Just run into. You don't have to do any work. Just say yes. There's going to be divisions, and you'll get one division. If you win. Gift card, $100 gift card. So Amazon gift card, $100. So that will be fun. And then when Toons Combine this Saturday, we'll be doing second round action. We SpongeBob versus Batman, the animated series. Check that out live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on WhenToonsCombine.com. YouTube.com/WhenToonsCombine. Links are in the description as always. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music. So subscribe, hit the like, comment, but most of all, subscribe on those platforms to help us. Subscribe to all our channels, like the videos. Liking the videos helps get it out to the public more. So please like the video. Liking the video is the most important than subscribing. Liking and subscribing. Check out my shorts I put out daily. I started putting them out daily again. I took a couple of weeks off. I started to do it again. So my betting picks. So as we hit the summer days of baseball, I'm gonna put more vids out. Doing player props and picks separately now. So check those two out. So probably put two out every other day. I don't know if I'm gonna do player props every day, maybe every other day. So, but absolutely, I'm doing picks. Player props are gonna be probably every other, or maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I can do that. I think that's it. Later.